Call the Community Development Committee meeting to order on Monday, March 6th at 5:42 p.m. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes.
Present.
Alderman Turner.
Present.
Acting Chair Alderman Florian.
Present. Thank you, sir. I need a first and a second to approve the minutes of the February 6th, 2023 regular meeting.
I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions about those minutes? Okay. Roll call, please. Do I need a roll call?
All in
Or is
favor?
all in favor? Sorry. All in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Sorry, thank you. Okay, audience time. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to us about this committee meeting today? Okay, nobody? Old business, none, new business. Item A, zoning calendar number 2696, an amendment to the 2020 Comprehensive Land Use Plan incorporating a list of reference and supplemental plans that support and amend the 2020 plan.
I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
Okay, any questions about that? I actually have a couple. Thomas and I have been talking about this. It was a little confusing to me. There was a very long list of these land use plans that we've had over the decades. Some of these go back to 2020, so 23 years. Apparently, this is just kind of a way of kind of organizing them, putting them all together, putting them into action, but I think we need to definitely look at some of these and decide if they're even still, relevant 23 years later. So I think we go ahead and do this, let them get the ball rolling, and then we'll keep working on this as we go forward. So, okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes.
Aye.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Chair Florian.
Aye. Okay, thank you. Item B, zoning calendar number 2697, a variance on the minimum lot size requirement for an automotive repair shop at 928 10th Street in the B2 Community Shopping District. Can I get a first and a second?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions regarding this? Okay, roll call. Oh, sorry.
I think more of a comment than a question. It seems like more often than not, we're seeing requests for automotive repair shops popping up in the city of Waukegan. I know just on my drive here today that you can't throw a stone without hitting one. At some point, it just seems like, at least to me, it seems like maybe an oversaturated market, but I'm not a fan of just having automotive repair shops with cars parked out in front or cars parked on the sidewalk or cars overlapping. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen here, but cars that just sit within just a few feet of the road, and it's really kind of an eyesore. I know there's a really big push in the city for curb appeal, planting trees, taking care of the sidewalks, and everyone's doing a really good job of executing on that plan. I don't see how more automotive repair shops benefit, or I should say enhance or satisfy the plan, the curb appeal plan, but also I just don't know how many more we need. I don't have hard numbers. I don't have any statistics on this. It just seems like they're coming up every week or every meeting or every other meeting. So I'm not a big fan of continuing to approve them. That's just a personal opinion.
I have a
Alderman Hayes,
question.
I think some important context is that there were a number of these that were existing nonconformities that have been longstanding businesses that were not being enforced. Commissioner Salas is looking at a lot of these, but what's happening is when these are coming in, these existing businesses, there are the kind of conditions that you're talking about, is requiring that they move any automobiles that are being serviced off of the street. So I think that planning and zoning, one of the things they're really endeavoring to do is not to allow a lot of new businesses, but to make the ones that are present more regulated.
Sure. And the plans, they've done a good job on the plans of saying this is where the landscaping is going to be and delineating the sidewalk, and it's all laid out. I just don't know how many more of these businesses we need. I don't want to stand in the way of a business opening up and a tax base being created. It's just an observation that I have. So hats off to planning and zoning for making sure that they're complying And it's just more of a personal opinion than a question.
Any other comments or questions?
Yes, right here. And I do validate that because hopefully those boundaries will be very clear because I don't want the residents complaining about, like he was saying, curb appearance and the cars, they overload, cars being served and they're on the street and they're, it's interrupting the parking. So is the owner here that could talk about it? Yes, is the owner here? I'd like
Do you
to
have a
hear from-
specific question for them, or?
Yeah, I just want to validate what Alderman Hayes was saying. So I understand we're expanding, allowing them to have more space, or?
No,
is
this
this
was an
working?
existing business, and they have had to come back and reapply for their business license. So they've been there, I don't know how long. 15 years.
15 years, okay.
So they're not expanding, but now they're trying to bring them into conformity and, oh, the owner passed away. That's right, I forgot. So, and the business license wasn't renewed in the interim, and now they're trying to renew, bless you. They're trying to renew, but it's an existing business. It's not, it just was non-conforming, and now we're trying to am I saying this right, Thomas? Okay.
Is that
So-
correct?
It gives us an opportunity to then have them fall in line with the regulations
Right.
that planning and zoning.
As
have
long
built.
as they fall within the regulations, yeah. An
Yeah, that
update, yeah.
that includes landscaping improvements and making sure that parking is taking place under the appropriate locations and not where, otherwise on right-of-ways that should not exist.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Chair Florian.
Aye. Okay, moving on to item C, zoning calendar number 2698, a variance on the minimum parking requirement for an automotive repair shop at 928 10th Street in the B2 Community Shopping District. Can I get a first and a second?
I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
Thank you, gentlemen. So same business. Now, they just don't quite meet the minimum parking standard unless you count parking spaces inside. So this is just kind of letting them use those inside spaces in addition to the outside spaces. So, anybody have any questions about that? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Chair Florian.
Aye. Item D, zoning calendar number 2699, a conditional use permit for an automotive repair shop at 928 10th Street in the B2 Community Shopping District. Can I get a first and a second for that?
I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
Thank you, gentlemen. Any questions about this? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes,
Aye.
Alderman Turner,
Aye.
Chair Florian.
Aye. Okay, gentlemen, on to city council tonight. It's on the agenda tonight, so, right? Or is it next time? Next meeting, sorry, in 2 weeks. Okay. Item E, an ordinance creating a Class F1 packaged beer, wine, and gasoline sales liquor license for Nair's Venture LLC located at 3411 Delaney Road. Can I get a first and a second for this?
I'll make it first, just to get it up.
Okay. Do I have a second? Can I second it, or is that not allowed?
Chair can
Okay,
second.
just so we can discuss it, I'll second it. Okay. So do you guys want to start with this, or?
I'll start with it.
Okay.
So it's come to my attention that this business was illegally selling alcohol while this license application was pending. My understanding, obviously, is that they were aware they needed the license because they applied for it. They knew they were coming here before this committee for a hearing on it and a vote. So in good conscience, I cannot vote, nor would I recommend to my colleagues to vote to issue this license. Doesn't seem right that they would, and they were caught yesterday. Okay, so the day
I
before-
apologize, Alderman Turner. Can you speak up and
Yeah,
project
I'm
just a little
sorry.
bit better?
It doesn't seem right that they would be caught selling alcohol illegally the day before they come before the committee for a license. So, I votes no.
Alderman Hayes, do you have any comment?
I agree with Alderman Turner. It seems difficult to create a license for an entity that hasn't been in compliance for quite some time, and by all accounts knew that a license was required. In fact, this isn't the first application that they've put forth before the city council, and it seems to me that it's troubling that a business knows that it's violating the law and continues to do so. And we've seen instances of this in the past, and I think at some point we just have to draw a line in the sand and we say we're not going to accept it. We're not going to stand for it. The laws that we make up here are in place for a reason, and we expect people to follow them.
Anybody else have any other comments? Okay, roll call?
Alderman Hayes.
No.
Alderman Turner.
No.
Chair Florian.
No. Okay. Item F, an ordinance creating an F1 packaged beer, wine, and gasoline sales liquor license for Yamanouchi Corporation located at 1900 Washington Street.
What? Yamanouchi?
I might be saying that wrong.
Well, I know, I'm just amazed because they have such a, conversely, right? They have an incredible reputation in the community.
I'm sorry.
This corporation is,
This is a different one.
they have, I know, that's what I'm saying. So we just talked about one that's doing all the wrong things, and now the next guy comes up, he's doing all the right things. I mean, they have a phenomenal reputation in Waukegan in the business community, so yay. All right.
We could
So-
take it to a vote. I don't have any questions.
Did I get a first and a second already? I've
I'll
kind of
make the
lost my,
motion.
okay,
I'll make the motion.
Seconded.
thank you. Okay, any other comments, questions? Okay, roll call, please.
Alderman Hayes.
Yes.
Alderman Turner.
Aye.
Chair Florian.
Aye. Okay. Item 5, reports and communications. I know it's not listed here, but we're going to have Antonio come up, I believe, and discuss some information about the water tower, possible renovation, possible demolition, possible whatever. Thank you, Antonio.
Antonio Dominguez, Director of Water Utilities. So last year, we had an inspection done on the water tower. August 9th was the date. We had a drone actually take video, and we have the information available if you guys want it. And we have a price to just power wash the water tank and then just put a coat of paint. But we're talking about last year's quote that we received. This year, I believe there's new standards for the paint that needs to be used, special paint for towers, water towers. So it was the total project cost was $247,860 to just paint power wash and paint the tank. And then we had to demo the tank, which is not in perfect condition, and you can see that in the report. We have a price of $29,000 to $34,000, but that's just knocking it down, not getting rid of it. So there's still going to be a price on getting rid of it, and then lead-based paint that's still on the tank has to be disposed of by standards. So I was told probably up to $75,000 to demo the tank, knock it down and get rid of it. Any questions?
Yeah. Hey, thank you.
Yep.
So if we tear it down, excuse me, pay $35 to knock it down, right?
Mm-hmm.
Couldn't we then haul it off to the scrap yard and sell it, get something for it?
I think that's part of the proposal. That's why it's so cheap, because they probably will scrap it, but then again, we still have to include the lead removal.
Okay, great, thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
Question for you. I think you said 75,000 was the last number you gave us. Was that the all-in price with the demo and disposal?
Yes,
Okay.
Yep.
So like somewhere between 29 and 34,000 to demo, right?
just to get it down, just to knock it down, and then after that, there's gonna be more, depending on what, we know it's lead-based paint on the tower, so there is gonna be, because they have to cut it up in pieces, and I'm pretty sure they have to come and, I forgot what the name they call it, where they use like a pin gun, and just where they can just start cutting off pieces.
You said the tank's not in perfect condition. Is there going to be repairs necessary to the tank if it were going to be power washed and repainted? Would we first have to make repairs too?
No, we were told it's in pretty good condition, but not the greatest, so. And then another thing, there's a concrete pad that's there, so if we do take it down, they have to break up that concrete pad, and if that's what we want, so that's extra, that's included in the $75,000 price for the demo.
Last question for you, if you know, when was it last painted?
That I have no record, because that wasn't our
last
property. That wasn't our property, so I would think if the building department might have some information, maybe.
I was just curious. Okay,
yeah.
thank you.
Yep. Any other questions?
This was just to start us thinking about the process, right? Is it going to be on the agenda eventually? Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, thank you. Yes, Alderwoman. It will be on the agenda. Today was just a discussion only. It will be for action at the next council meeting.
Is this, are these funds budgeted anywhere? Is it going to come out of Antonio's budget? Is it out of the capital
More than likely, it'll
projects?
come out of our fixed assets budget, depending on the decision that you make. To demo is a lot easier than it will be to find the funds to restore.
And we don't, I mean, obviously, there's going to be environmental impact, and we're going to address that as we go along, but there's no historical designation or anything to this at this point, right?
That is correct. Staff has looked into that, and currently there is nothing that the Historical Preservation has in front of you that has been designated a historical site.
Okay, thank you, sir.
But it will be up for action at the next community development meeting.
Okay, forewarned.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Antonio. Okay, anything else for the good of this Community Development Committee meeting? I'll take a motion and a second to adjourn.
Motion?
All in favor?